What is the one constant misconception or misunderstanding that you find as they approach you? They don't understand about the business. The one thing that seems to be consistent, and it's a two-parter. I would like you to answer that one. And has it changed? Has that misconception or what it is as the music industry has changed over those 40 years, or is there some similarities?
Well, I would say probably the most common misconception is that it's possible to become a star quickly.
Mhm.
And it never really goes as quickly as anybody thinks it's going to go. And there's a kind of mythology in the music business that supports that idea. And currently, shows like The Voice and American Idol tend to support the idea that you can just win a contest and then you have a career. Um, I would say usually the look of shock over people's faces when I say to them, so let's make a 5 year plan. And everybody's thinking, well, I was kind of thinking 6 months, maybe a year at the outside. And really, it's like any other career where you need to kind of educate yourself and educate yourself as to how the business works, how you can make a livelihood in the business while sort of the front end requires a lot of outlay of cash. So there's a lot of learning to do, and it takes a good bit of time to learn that stuff. And I would say the idea of whether it's changed over the years, yeah, I think it's changed in that I think people were more nervous about it 40 years ago. They were more nervous about the idea of trying a career in music. Um, I think these days, because it's made to look easy, it's made to look like stardom is just a couple of good breaks away. Um, that many more people are sort of thinking, well, I'm a candidate, and I think that's changed some. And I think the other aspect of it is that a lot of people aren't sure whether or not they need to have musical skills because a good deal of their interaction with music today is sort of computer based. And I think that is also different. It doesn't invalidate that, but it means that an awful lot of people who would have taken music lessons and spent a lot of time developing a musical craft have sort of come up a different way with technology. And that's another thing that I think has changed fairly significantly.
And would you recommend to someone to be more aware of technology in terms of as an artist these days, or is it
Well,
still?
I think it's unavoidable
Yeah.
for people to become. They need to be aware of technology. I think they can lower their costs, their startup costs. If you think, I almost always use the example that doing this is like starting a small business. And if you're starting a small business, usually you're everything. You're the accountant. It's the guy in the commercial who says, "Hold, please," and then, "Yes, Dave in accounting," and that's what being a musician is at the beginning you're doing all of these things, and um, I think learning some technology, learning a digital audio platform is useful. I think Joni and I are working together, and she does a lot of her background vocals at home and initial programming at home, and I think that not only lessens the burden on what has to happen in a recording studio, which is more of a paid environment, but it also opens the door that somebody can do something very not, without time constraints and be creative on their own time. So I think technology is very useful in that regard, and I think everybody should be learning some. Some of us, no names mentioned, it might be a little far along, but
Okay.